Afternoon, America. Brian Jan Blam here. I want to welcome you back to another episode of What the Fuck's Up. And if you live in the state of Arizona, today's actually a pretty good day because President Donald Trump and the DOJ have just, boom, you're fired to the U.S. Attorney for the District of Arizona, which means they will have a replacement coming in hopefully soon. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think the requirements should be for Donald Trump's new appointment for U.S. Attorney for the District of Arizona. First, I would avoid at all costs any attorney who has been part of this governmental process in the state of Arizona. I would avoid any attorney who has been in part of that process for a very long period of time, especially those in the executive branch, the Attorney General's office, because they have been here and have literally done nothing from day one when all of Arizona election shenanigans began in about 2018 under the current Secretary of State, who is then Maricopa County Recorder, Adrian Fontes. So I would avoid the people who have been in this system that has come about to ensure that Arizona elections are the most challenged elections in the world, aside from maybe Venezuela. But, avoid those people. The second group of people I would avoid are those people who are deeply embedded with the judicial system, those people who have long-term friend relationships with all of these members of the Arizona judiciary that go do dinner at their houses and they party with the members of the state bar or whatever the case may be. I would avoid those folks because they have the personal relationships, I think, that will make it difficult for them to do the work that needs to be done in the state of Arizona, and that is to conduct a full-fledged RICO investigation into Arizona's elections, including what transpired in 2020, and 2022 in the state of Arizona. And so they can also, I guess, look at a couple races in 2024 because the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, apparently there's a new Stephen Richer in town, right, who likes to slander and defame people like me who are engaged in the election integrity sphere. And he's running roughshod currently over the recorder, Justin Heap, who defeated Stephen Richer handily in the primary election. And so they've denied him any and all access to election-related materials or any role in the elections coming up in the future in Maricopa County, Arizona. And he has personally said, I believe, that we got to deny these election deniers access to records. Well, why? The big question is why, right? And this is why I say we need someone who's been an outsider. Third requirement, folks, I would avoid any attorney who has been sitting on the sidelines since 2018 and especially since 2020. Any attorney that has refused to get involved, even though you can clearly see what's been taking place in the state of Arizona, is not somebody you want on your team. If they were afraid to get involved, if they were too timid to get involved, when the shit was hitting the fan, they're going to be way too timid to do what they actually need to do as a U.S. attorney within the state of Arizona. And so we need someone that is strong. I personally, as you all know, support Alexander Collin. He has been in this fight with people like me from day one. He represented the Arizona electors in the 2020 challenge. He was part of the Arizona Senate audit, and he got himself elected to the House of Representatives, and he has been the strongest champion pushing the best legislation to try to reform Arizona's electoral system and get all the creeps out of the system. But there are a lot of things that need to be looked at in the state of Arizona. For example, going back to the Senate audit that took place in 2021 in the state of Arizona. right? The Senate audit subpoena requested that Maricopa County turn over to it the elections management system, the EMS system, and the database for the 2020 election. There's a huge debate about this. Stephen Richer used it for a very long time to try to defame and demean people, especially MAGA-oriented people, as putting out false information or fake videos, right? Even though we have brought you the information that shows somebody allowing an unauthorized individual access to the EMS server room, boom, he's in there alone. And then the EMS server's turned over to the auditors, and they find that the 2020 election database had been deleted from the EMS server. Who ordered that deletion? Who knew that deletion was going to take place before they responded to this duly authorized and issued subpoena? And why, folks? Why? Why would they want to keep that database out of the hands of auditors? So there's a whole host of things that need to be looked at with respect to Arizona elections. We've got a lot of issues with respect to, I did an episode on voter registration and what took place in 2020, right? You have, in 2020, this huge increase in voter registration numbers, 6 to 7%, right? Huge increase in voter registration numbers, folks, in the run-up to the election. Well, Katie Hobbs allows private organizations, private left-wing organizations, one of them was caught in Pennsylvania engaging in voter registration fraud, and that company is run from here in Tempe, right? And it is run by a guy who used to work with Adrian Fontes and was a good friend of Adrian Fontes. So what needs to be looked at, folks? There needs to be a full-fledged RICO investigation in the state of Arizona conducted by the federal federal government, the people who have subpoena power and the power to get access to records, because they are still denying access to records. And what's the problem with openness? That's always the question you have to ask. If you look at the federal government right now and all of the information that's coming out about the massive amounts of fraud and deceit that have been taking place in the federal government, that they are working overtime to hide, including Arizona's Attorney General, who is doing the bidding of States United and all of these national security state lefty types who want to keep this system of government in place because it gives them money and power over you, right? Why are they hiding it? Probably for the same reason Maricopa County refuses to be transparent with its election-related documents. And so let's hope that we get somebody appointed to the U.S. Attorney's Office in the District of Arizona that's got some cojones and that will actually get done what needs to be done to rectify the state of Arizona. And with that, I say peace.